What makes somebody a good life coach? Why is authenticity so important? Well, how do you prevent that from depressing you? Everybody's different. Nobody's right. Yeah, that's it. Let's do it, man.
Right.
Coach Mike.
Yes.
Coach Mike.
What's happening, man?
So happy that you are here in sauna sessions.
I'm happy to be sweating with you.
Have you started? Okay, I see a little
Yeah, I'm
sweat.
starting to sweat. Starting to glisten.
You're ripped, man. How the heck do you
I am
stay in
not
such good
ripped.
shape? You look great.
Hopefully-
You're like 6 weeks from like a show, a bodybuilding show. You look great.
Well, I'm competing in jiu-jitsu tournament next week.
Okay.
So it's good I'm in shape. Because that creates all sorts of nerves. So it's good to feel like I'm going into it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You do jiu-jitsu. How long have you done this?
So I started jiu-jitsu during COVID. Wow. I mean, it's not the healthiest thing, but at a studio with they blacked out all the windows. So, I could just do one-on-ones with me and the professor, but I've been doing it for almost 3 years.
Okay.
I used to do it once a year, and then the problem with jiu-jitsu is if you go to the wrong gym, it's like anything in life. If you don't go to something that teaches art, and instead you just go to a school where they're like, it's a job, you can feel the difference.
Got
So
it.
everywhere else I went, it was like they're teaching me how to choke someone out day one. Whereas the place I'm at now, it's like, you're not even going to learn that for 4 months.
Wow.
You're going to learn how to move your body, shift and change. And I only do tournaments because I really don't enjoy it.
So you lean into what you don't enjoy.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's an emotional roller coaster. So this will be my 4th one.
Okay. You don't want to take this like professionally, or just
no, it's
just having
like
fun.
And I didn't grow up fighting. So I didn't grow up getting in fights. In fact, the only time I got in a fight growing up was elementary school. And it was me, and I grew up in Orange County, so there's a lot of Mexicans in my school. And this little Mexican, half my size, took the soccer ball, and I ripped it out of his hands, and I pushed him, and he pieced me up. I mean, he beat me up. I remember I crying to the lunch lady. So other than that, before I learned jiu-jitsu, I would have scratched you. I know how to fight. I mean, not to defend myself or anything, so it's been a good journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, this is like your new passion? Right
Yeah,
now?
it keeps my head real on point, and this tournament I'm doing it to reduce my ego.
Okay.
And to stop focusing on winning.
Okay. I want to get into that.
Okay.
But first, first, thank you again for being here. Your work is so incredible. Been on TV shows, Dr. Phil, you've worked with celebrities, entrepreneurs, athletes, alcoholics, addicts. And you say it all comes down to being authentic, being your authentic self. Who am I? Why is authenticity so important?
Without knowing who we are, it's really hard to know what we want or how to get there. It's like a wacky compass. It's like you put the address in MapQuest and it sends you in a different area. So, and it feels good. Right? We know when we're being ourselves, and it feels good. And when we can connect with another person who sees us as ourselves, it just feels good. And that's what I've come to learn is the reason people get addicted to drugs, for example, is they're chasing something that really isn't themselves.
Well, we live in a culture, though, that kind of it reinforces that, chasing something that's not ourselves, right? The word person, the Greek word comes from, it means mask, persona, meaning mask. A lot of people say, oh, Mike, you're acting out of character, right? So it seems like our culture perpetuates this inauthentic version of ourselves, fake it till you make it. How do you transcend in the trance of the culture and become your authentic self?
First, we got to pull out, we got to pull out a bit. And I mean, the greatest teachers to us growing up is whoever raised us. And so we normally are imprinted with their beliefs and their thoughts and their ideas. And then we start to resist it at different times, but then we're kind of reinforced that it's right. Or schools will tell us this is the way to be. Sometimes we need to act out because we're like, this feels so inauthentic. I'm going to take it times 10. And sometimes we just keep our mouth shut. But at some point in our lives, it starts to create suffering. And the suffering grows. And I've gone through it. You've gone through it.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's a journey.
Yeah, what was your journey? Because I know you've gone through some shadows and you know?
Yeah, I was on the Hot Mess Express
Okay.
when I was younger. You know, I went with like the homecoming queen and played basketball. And I mean, I got addicted to drugs heavily. I also, like, I'm gay and I didn't know anyone else that was. So I kept trying to be straight. And when you're gay and you try to be straight, it's really inauthentic and uncomfortable. So that was a bit of a journey. And then realizing it's okay. Even career-wise, you know, whenever we want to reinvent in our careers, we always have to go back to, like, who are we? And the first book that I wrote, Best Self, you create a character.
Yeah.
And my character's a wizard. And that's why I have a wizard right here.
Merlin,
with the staff.
right?
Yeah, Merlin. And I go back to, like, what would Merlin do? And Merlin has the characteristics of wise, compassionate, loving, funny, fearless. And I have to constantly remind myself. And the people I work with, I have to constantly remind them of who they are. Man, we could save a lot of time of suffering if we were really encouraged to be ourselves.
Yeah.
And taught.
Yeah.